This is Neural Newscast.
The stories that matter for Thursday, April 16th, 2026.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Isabel Moreno.
Brazil and the United States finalized a $15 billion green energy infrastructure agreement this morning in Brasília.
President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva stated that the partnership focuses on green hydrogen production and exports to North American markets.
A significant portion of this capital is earmarked for technical training programs to transition traditional energy workers into these new hydrogen roles.
This partnership marks a strategic pivot for Brazil as it seeks to reduce dependence on European investment for its decarbonization projects.
Turning now to the European Union, where the mandatory digital identity wallet system officially launched across all member states yesterday.
The European Commission announced that the system will unify health records, driver's licenses, and banking access into a single encrypted mobile platform.
Privacy advocates have raised concerns about data centralization, but officials maintain that the zero-knowledge proof technology ensures user security.
The rollout is expected to be complete by the end of this year, with over 400 million citizens eligible for the digital credentials.
In other news, the Japanese government introduced the J-Work visa program earlier this week to combat its worsening labor shortage in the technology sector.
The program offers an expedited 5-year residency path for software engineers and data scientists who meet specific proficiency benchmarks.
It represents a major departure from Japan's historically restrictive immigration policies as the country tries to maintain its competitive edge in artificial intelligence.
Economic analysts in Tokyo suggest that the move could inject $5 billion into the local tech economy by the end of the decade.
Meanwhile, in East Africa, Kenya has officially completed the Rift Valley Solar Megaproject, now the largest photovoltaic installation on the continent.
The facility is expected to generate 2 gigawatts of power, which will stabilize the national grid and lower industrial electricity costs by 20%.
This project was funded through a consortium of African development banks and private equity firms, showcasing a shift toward internal regional financing.
The project also includes a regional training hub in Nairobi to develop local expertise in large-scale renewable maintenance.
Still in the realm of global finance, Argentina and the International Monetary Fund entered a new round of debt restructuring talks on Wednesday.
The Argentine Finance Ministry is seeking a 3-year extension on repayment deadlines to accommodate recent volatility in the agricultural export sector.
While the IMF has acknowledged the climate-related impacts on Argentina's harvest, they are still demanding stricter fiscal deficit targets for the coming year.
A final agreement is anticipated before the next major payment deadline on May 15th.
Next, South Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics announced a breakthrough in solid-state battery manufacturing that could double electric vehicle ranges.
Engineers have successfully stabilized the sulfide-based electrolyte, allowing for mass production at costs comparable to current lithium-ion units.
This development is likely to accelerate the decline of internal combustion engines by addressing the primary consumer concern of range anxiety.
Production is scheduled to begin at the company's Pyeongtaek facility by the third quarter of 2026.
In the United States, the Department of Labor unveiled a comprehensive reform of the federal apprenticeship system yesterday afternoon.
The new guidelines, Noah, expand federal funding to include mid-career workers seeking to transition into cybersecurity and advanced manufacturing.
The goal is to move beyond traditional trades and integrate earn-while-you-learn models into high-growth white-collar sectors.
Private sector partners, including IBM and Microsoft, have already committed to creating 50,000 new positions under the reformed framework.
Turning to a story on urban innovation, Singapore has successfully integrated an AI-driven water management system across its national reservoir network.
The system uses predictive modeling to adjust treatment levels and distribution based on real-time weather patterns and household demand.
Officials report that the automation has already reduced energy consumption at desalination plants by 15% since the pilot began.
This model is being watched closely by other island nations facing similar water security challenges due to shifting climate patterns.
Finally, in the arts world, the Louvre Museum in Paris announced it will digitize its entire archive using high-definition multispectral imaging.
This initiative will allow researchers and the public to view layers of historical paintings that are invisible to the naked eye.
Here is what else we're watching. G20 finance ministers meet in London tomorrow to discuss a global minimum tax on digital services.
The outcome will be critical for multinational tech firms that have faced a patchwork of individual national taxes over the last 2 years.
Next, SpaceX is scheduled to perform a critical static fire test of its Starship HLS variant at Starbase, Texas on Friday morning.
This test is a mandatory milestone for the upcoming Artemis lunar landing mission, currently slated for late next year.
And on Monday, the United Kingdom will release its latest consumer price index data, which analysts expect to show inflation cooling to 2%.
This release could trigger the Bank of England's first interest rate cut in over 18 months, impacting global currency markets.
I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Isabel Moreno.
This has been Neural Newscast. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. Thanks for listening.